In this video, we're going to solve formulas for a variable by using the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division properties of equality and the distributive property in factoring. Our first example is the formula a equals 2/3 xy squared, and we're going to solve for the variable x. And this means we need to get x all by itself on one side of equals and get all the other variables on the other side of equals. We can start out by getting rid of the 2/3 by multiplying both sides by 3/2. And when we do that, the 3/2 times the 2/3 cancels on the right side, and this leaves 3/2 a equals xy squared. And now we need to get rid of the y squared, and we can do this by dividing both sides by y squared. So our answer is x equals 3/2 a over y squared. But we can write that in a different way. Since dividing by y squared is the same as multiplying by 1 over y squared, we can put the y squared in the denominator and the a in the numerator, and we get x equals 3a over 2y squared, which is the correct answer. But also, if you gave the answer x equals 3/2 a over y squared, that would be correct as well. Just be aware that there are different correct versions of the same answer. In this next example, we're going to solve the formula m equals n plus nxz for the variable n. Now here we're going to have to get n all by itself, and there's two terms with n. The trick here is to factor n out of the right side. Once we factor, we have m equals n times the quantity 1 plus xz. Well, all we have to do now is divide by that quantity 1 plus xz. And we're done. N equals m over 1 plus xz. In our next example, we solve the formula a equals 2/3 x times the quantity y plus z for the variable z. The first thing we need to do here is get rid of that 2/3 x. And we can do that quite easily by multiplying both sides by 3 over 2x. And as you can see, the 2's cancel, the x's cancel, and the 3's cancel on the right, leaving just our quantity y plus z. And on the left we have 3 times a over 2x. And we then just need to get rid of the y, which is a simple subtraction of y on both sides. So we get an answer of 3a over 2x minus y equals z. But there's other ways of writing this answer. We can multiply y by 2x over 2x, and we get 3a over 2x minus 2xy over 2x equals z. And we can combine those two fractions together as 3a minus 2xy over 2x equals z. And all three of these answers are correct and equivalent. In this next example, we solve the equation h equals x plus the quantity n minus 1 times y for the variable y. To get y by itself, we start by subtracting x from both sides. And this leaves us with h minus x equals n minus 1 times y. Now the real easy way to finish this solution is just to simply divide both sides by n minus 1. And when we do this, the n minus 1's cancel on the right side, and we're left with our solution y equals h minus x over n minus 1. In this last example, we're going to solve the formula a equals m over 1 minus x for the variable x. The problem here is that the x is in the denominator. Well, we can fix that easy enough by multiplying both sides by 1 minus x. And when we do that, the 1 minus x's cancel on the right, and leaving us with a times 1 minus x equals m. And we can get rid of that a easy enough by dividing both sides by a, canceling it out, leaving us with 1 minus x equals m over a. We're almost done. We need to get rid of that 1 and switch the sign on x. So we subtract 1 on both sides, and this gives us negative x equals m over a minus 1. Now we just need to turn negative x into positive x, and we can do that easy enough by multiplying both sides by negative 1. When we multiply the left side by negative 1, we just get x. And on the right side, we have to make sure and multiply negative 1 by both m over a and also by the negative 1 term. Distribute it out. And so we get x equals negative m over a plus 1 as our solution. And we can switch the negative m over a and 1 around and write this as x equals 1 minus m over a. But you might see this answer in a different form. The 1 is the same as a over a, and a over a minus m over a can be combined into a minus m over a. So x equals a minus m all over a is another possible solution. In summary, just remember that you can add to both sides, subtract the same quantity from both sides, multiply or divide both sides by the same quantity to get your variable by itself. Sometimes, when there are several terms that have your variable, you need to factor your variable out, and oftentimes, when you use the multiplication property of equality, you have to use the distributive property as well. So use these basic algebraic properties as needed to solve for your variable.